It's been said that people can doubt towards a stronger faith or have questions and grow in confidence in their trust of Jesus. But there's also a type of doubt that can be considered sinful. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, but here's what's so tough about it. In Scripture, again, we have a half dozen words in the New Testament that can be anything from asking a question to a little stronger and what we call doubting, to all the way to denying. It can actually be all the way to apostasy, however you define that. But, so can it be sin? I think it can be sin. Especially if you go off into bad habits, like you're in the middle of volitional doubt, you're mad at God, and you take up taking God's name in vain. You start getting bad habits, you're going to just deepen your ditch that you're falling into. But here's the problem. I don't think we as human beings know when it crosses the line in sin and when it doesn't. So I like to jump into doubt in two circumstances. When I think someone's going off the deep end, now you could say easily, the easier, well, he's fallen into sin. The scarier thing would be, I know what I believe about eternal security, but, who are we we don't know how far a person goes and doesn't go. Because, of course, the Calvinists, I'm not a Calvinist, but the Calvinists are real strong. They say you weren't saved in the first place, so you're not going to get a lot of... So I try to rescue the guy who's close to the cliff. The other person I try to help is the one who's in a lot of pain. That's emotional doubt. But I can't say exact. I can guess what line you're on. Oh, you're emotional. You're in love with the Lord. You just have to convince yourself you love the Lord and change your thinking. Now, dude, you are close to the line because you don't give a rip and you keep getting closer. You're playing daredevil with God. That's a little closer. But where does the doubt morph into sin? I don't think anybody would know that. I think Jesus would. Last verse in John chapter 2, people believed in Jesus, but he wouldn't commit himself to them because he knew their heart. Well, we can guess, but we won't have that advantage. So to answer your question, I do think doubt could be sinful. I think very frequently it's not, but I don't think humans know when we cross the line.
Can you give an example of when you would say, this is an example when doubt is sinful?
I can only guess, but I would say most likely, I repeat the example I did. This guy's not only being bitter at God, he's blaming God with breaking promises. He thinks God's let him down. He's good at theology. You try to tell him God couldn't let you down if he wanted to let you down. He can't change. He's the same nature. He's eternal. He's got the omnis, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. So
he's very critical of God's character?
Very critical, starting to say things about God, doesn't care if he takes God's name in vain, blames God with everything, and he's doing it with a real chip on his shoulder. I'd say he's been past that line for a while. But that's just my human judgment.